Hi, Deb. How are you?
Karash, I'm doing just great. Happy New Year. How are
Hap-
you?
Happy New Year. I'm doing great. So good to see you again after the holidays.
Thank you.
And thanks again for agreeing to this testimonial. A lot of people appreciate that, and they always get a lot of benefit from listening to clients and what they have been through. So I'm going to ask you a few questions, and can comfortably answer them, and we'll wrap it up in about 5 minutes or so. Sounds good?
Perfect. Sounds
Great.
great.
So, Deb, before I get into the questions, can you tell me a little bit about your job and what you do, your profession?
Sure. Happy to do that. So I would consider myself an HR professional. I have about 25 years in human resources, primarily in pharmaceuticals and medical device, and mostly on the business partnering side. So working very closely with the business to understand what their people needs are. And about 3 years ago, I was given the opportunity to transition to a smaller company and head up the HR function. So, in that capacity, it really gave me a great opportunity to have my arms around the entire HR function from talent acquisition to designing benefits plans, harmonizing policies, everything you can imagine, payroll administration, all the different functions of HR. I've had the opportunity of overseeing, and I've really enjoyed that a lot.
Very good. And do you mind sharing what your situation was before you started to work with us and what got you interested to work with us?
Sure, sure. So, in a nutshell, Karash, the company for which I worked moved its headquarters from basically in my backyard, which is in Pennsylvania, to the middle of the country in Indiana. And I supported them for about a year and a half remotely, traveling back and forth. However, that was not sustainable for the company, nor was it sustainable for my lifestyle. So, therefore, I left the company at the end of the year of 2023. And in the meanwhile, had recruited my successor, had quite a bit of a runway to do the knowledge transfer. And it was during that period where I became aware of your company and some of the interesting questions that were being asked um, on sort of your site had to do with, do you ever wonder why you're stuck in your career, why you're not seeing yourself advancing in your career, what's getting in the way of your success? And all of those things resonated with me based on where I felt I was in my career. So therefore, I reached out, and that's why we are here where we are today.
Awesome. Very good. And Deb, tell me what happened after we started to work together. What changes did you start to see, and what results have you achieved so far?
Sure. So I can say that the program, as you've laid it out in the 8 week courses, um, really start with understanding yourself. You got to know yourself. You got to know what your strengths are, what your development areas are. And I think for the first time, it gave me the permission to think about that, to think about it very carefully, but then also identifying what my blind spots are, because it's those things that I think were the biggest challenges that got or have been getting in the way of my feeling that my career has advanced and progressed in the way that I would have expected or enjoyed.
Hmm.
So that is, I think the instructions are very pragmatic. They're easy to understand. It's almost like, gee, why didn't I think of that? Because they're obvious once they're brought to light. But also some of the behaviors that you had when you were more junior in your career, what got you there is not going to get you there.
Hmm.
And in your program, you're able to see why that shift and that transition needs to occur in order for others, for yourself and for others to see you in that executive suite.
Very good. And what did you find most beneficial in the program for your situation?
Oh, wow, there's just so many things. I don't know if I can count them all here, but I mean, certainly the analysis of who I am and where I want to be, and really start to live that life today and not think about it being future dated, but really start from this very moment to be acting, behaving in that way. I think also the whole course about executive presence and how it's really 3 parts that but there's a sweet spot in the middle,
Mhm.
and with gravitas being the most important. The part of gravitas that I thought that really resonated with me is the one about, um, showing your teeth, if I could
Mhm.
say that.
Yeah,
And I've
yeah.
actually said to other people, I rarely show my teeth. I
Mhm.
reserve that for when I'm really angry about something, and I think you're suggesting that that really demonstrates your conviction when you have the courage to be able to show your teeth more often. I don't know why that's the showing of the teeth was one that really resonated because I'm probably not unlike many other women where you've grown up to be a nice girl and be polite and go along to get along, that type of thing. That to get to the executive suite, you're not going to be the most liked person, and that's no longer what the goal should be
Mhm.
if you want to get to somewhere in your career. So
Mhm.
that really resonated a lot.
Very good. Very good. Great. So one last question, Deb. What is your advice for people who are watching this testimonial video and they're stuck in their career and they're considering to work with us?
Yes. So several things. First of all, that if you're not where you think you should be based on your experience, your educational level, if you feel like you're not being fulfilled and giving everything that you feel that you have to give, but you can't figure out why, this is something you cannot do on your own. You do need coaching, you need tools to be able to understand why you're stuck and where are those blind spots. So what I'm saying is this program is that facilitator or facilitation of not being in this by yourself and the very tangible benefits of going through it with you as our primary mentor, but also then the weekly meeting others who are going through the program and there are a variety of different stages in the program. Just learning from them. You get so much about hearing what other people are struggling with. And then also the Enneagram. So understanding what my particular type is and why I act the way I do, and what are the strengths of being that particular type. What are the downsides as well? And how you should surround yourself with people who kind of fill in the blanks of where your strengths aren't. So without the benefit of having that analysis, the Enneagram, and again, it's back to understanding who I am, where I want to be, and what those gaps are. My biggest advice would be you can't do this by yourself. You just can't go it alone, and because you're going to have the same results by going it alone.
Very good. Well, thank you very much, Deb. It's definitely been a pleasure working with you. I know we're going to continue to stay in touch and work with each other. And I know you're going to achieve great successes in your career. You have a great background and you're going to do well. And again, I want to thank you for taking a few minutes to uh, share some of your experiences with our future clients.
Thank you, Karash. It was my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.